You show me.
They took pictures of Babby and me.
Meet 6-year-old Ellen Buckley. She seems pretty talkative, doesn't she?
You take a picture now of Helen. Go on, lift it up. Should I smile?
Yeah.
Can you believe just 1 month ago, she didn't speak?
No. And now you.
Cheese. You get a good one? Cheese.
All because of a little piece of skin underneath her tongue, commonly referred to as a tongue tie.
Flour?
Yeah.
We need flour for what? What do we need flour for?
Ellen's mother, Emma, explains when her firstborn started having difficulty.
She was 2.5 and she was diagnosed with epilepsy, so that's where the journey began, I suppose, you know. And she had been losing words. She'd started talking very early, but she had been losing words from the age of 2. So nothing else was noticed, a little flicker in the eye, that was it. And then at 2.5 had a big tonic-clonic in her bedroom in the middle of the night and was diagnosed 12 hours later. So from there her speech was nil. I mean, it just diminished completely.
Here you can see a tongue tie just like Ellen's. Her condition went undiagnosed for 6 years. Since Ellen had her tongue tie released just a month ago, her mum Emma says she's made incredible progress.
Since the operation there was not even a month ago, she's a different child, and I can say that absolutely, you know. And you can see it in her, she's happier and her tongue is freer. You can see it physically, but I mean you can hear it in her, and everybody is just going on about how chatty she is. She's like me now, she just chats and chats and chats, never stops. What surprise could we get? What could we get now again?
Dr. McDuffin.
Dr. McDuffin?
Yep.
And what else?
Peppa Pig.
Just a few months ago, Ellen was diagnosed by Bridget O'Connor. Bridget explains why Ellen's tongue tie went under the radar.
Now we're in a situation where if a baby isn't revised very, very soon after birth, and if it goes under the radar maybe between about 3 months and 12 months, there isn't any hope.
Bridget says if tongue tie isn't found early, it may not be diagnosed at all.
You know, very, very few people are revising tongue ties now in this particular age group. So it makes it more difficult.
This is Pauline Lamb and her 6-week-old son Connor. They've travelled from Waterford today to attend a tongue tie clinic here in South Tipperary General Hospital. Pauline explains what the most difficult part of her tongue tie journey has been so far.
I suppose it's watching him being uncomfortable and knowing that I can't do anything about it. That's the hardest. I can cope with lack of sleep. I can cope with holding my baby. I can cope with doing all of those things. But it's watching him and he's just struggling, grunting and groaning, and he just has so much air inside him. Being a mother, all you want to do is for them to be happy and healthy. And if this is something that I can do to make him that way, then I'm happy enough.
On there, is that right? Yeah.
Now it's time for Connor to have a short tongue tie release procedure, which will change his life. The procedure is called a frenuloplasty, and all it takes is a matter of seconds. First, Dr. Justin Roach, who's performing the procedure, applies some local anaesthetic to the area under his tongue. Then physiotherapist Kate Roach, who's assisting her husband in the procedure, swaddles Connor in a blanket in order to keep him still for the little snip which will free his tongue.
Okie doke. You might look in here.
Now, sweetie pie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good boy.
I know.
And we're nearly done. That's a good little boy. That's a good little boy. There we go.
All done.
Superstar.
And then it's back to Mom for a feed.
Straight away.
Dr. Justin Roach is the only paediatric consultant in Ireland who performs this procedure. He started doing them after 4 of his 6 children were born with the condition. He says the level of demand for his services has surprised him.
Started doing a few on the paediatric ward. Someone got wind that we were doing it, and next thing I know, there's referrals coming in from lots of different places. So it kind of grew by itself, and that's why we've ended up now kind of doing 2 clinics a week, like in that.
That wasn't your intention.
Oh God, no, far from it, like in that. Certainly wasn't my expectation.
If tongue tie isn't diagnosed or treated early, it can cause some potentially serious conditions, ranging from sleep apnea to constant digestive issues. Bridget outlines the most common symptoms they see in her clinic.
We've had people that have poor bowel movements and tummy problems, reflux, swallowing problems. A lot of them have sleep issues. That's probably the biggest common ground we see. A lot of them have sleep issues because, again, if the tongue is lying on the floor of the mouth during the night when everything relaxes, the tongue has to go somewhere, and very often it's falling back into the airway.
Physiotherapist and mother of 6, Kate Roach, says the 4 of her 6 children who had tongue tie each experienced different symptoms.
I think between the babies, it probably covered most of the symptoms. I certainly had very painful feeding experiences and excruciating pain that you can't quite describe to someone who hasn't experienced it. I'd also had issues with babies with poor weight gain. Another baby had a lot of jaundice, which was linked to, we felt, he wasn't getting the volumes early on. And then, yes, we had one child who had severe reflux as well, which, looking back, we think was probably linked to aerophagia because of tongue tie.
Which is when the air gets...
air swallowing, because you're not getting a good enough seal either on the breast or the bottle.
Dr. Bobby Gahiri is an ENT surgeon from Portland, Oregon. He's an expert in tongue tie and has treated many babies and children over the years. He explains why most medical professionals aren't diagnosing tongue tie.
We don't educate our doctors properly. And then there's a big ego component, because what people like me are telling most of the other doctors of the world is, you don't know what you're talking about. And that's a hard pill to swallow for a lot of people, especially people who routinely take care of babies. And to imply that somebody who's been taking care of babies for their whole career all of a sudden now isn't examining the baby properly, and that they don't understand how breastfeeding is supposed to work, is a little bit of a slap in the face, not intentionally. It's just the nature of a big paradigm shift in medicine.
It's clear that this condition should be given more attention by health professionals, as early intervention of tongue tie could eliminate the risk of any health issues as a child grows. Ellen's life has been transformed by having her tongue tie released, and now her future looks very bright indeed.
But now I'm better.
But now you are better.